federal prison in Glenville after the Federal Bureau of Prisons transferred 124 inmates to the lockup. And per the governor's order, the Fayette County Health Department finished the testing of all daycare workers, and by doing that, Fayette County identified one positive worker at a place to grow. So since then, the health department has offered testing to all workers, families, and children who attend the Oak Hill Daycare Center. The employee was asymptomatic.
They likely will reopen today for their smaller classroom. For the classroom that was exposed, it'll be 14 days from Friday, which will be June 5th.
Once the test returned positive, the entire facility was cleaned. Well, Raleigh General Hospital will lift restrictions put in place in response to COVID-19. Starting today, the hospital will transition from a zero visitor protocol to limited visitor restriction. Visitation hours are now from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Social distancing and mask requirements will remain in place, and visitors under the age of 12 are not allowed inside the facility.
This is one of our most challenging decisions to reduce visitation into the hospital, but it was absolutely necessary to ensure that we protect our patients, our employees, and our providers. So I think this is going to be, hopefully it'll put a smile on their face. It'll bring more comfort to the patients. It'll bring more comfort to the family members.
Raleigh General Hospital will continue to screen everyone who enters the facility for symptoms consistent with COVID-19. For additional updates on visitor restrictions, visit raleighgeneral.com. Well, in-person early voting begins tomorrow for the local 2020 primary election. Newswatch reporter Shakira Hawkins talked to the Fayette County Clerk on what people can expect this year at the polls.
Starting on May 27th, Fayette County residents will be able to early vote. According to Fayette County Clerk Alicia Treadway, in-person early voting is expected to have a low turnout due to the amount of absentee ballots that were processed.
Normally the benefit of early voting is so you don't have to stand in lines on election day, but nobody's going to be standing in any lines during this pandemic because of the absentees requests that we have received. It's going to definitely cut down on the traffic.
Election Day is next Tuesday, June 9th, but registered voters can early vote at Green Valley United Methodist Center, Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Building, and Montgomery City Hall this week.
All of those 3 locations will be equipped with hand sanitizer, which I don't recommend to hand sanitize before we go into vote, because if your hands are wet and you touch your ballot, it may not run through the tabulator. So if you want to hand sanitize after you're done, but we do recommend that you wear a glove to touch the screen, sign using the pen, and those things will be given to everybody when they come in, and that's even including on election day.
Treadway also wants to remind the public to be mindful of filling out an absentee ballot and trying to vote in person.
If you choose to go to the polls after receiving a ballot at your home because that you requested a ballot to not go to the polls, is that you cannot drop your ballots off at the early voting locations, nor can you do that on election day. You can return them to the courthouse by June the 8th. That is the very last day to hand deliver ballots. And then on election day, no ballots can be returned. They can be postmarked, and those will be counted.
Reporting in Fayette County for Newswatch, I'm Shakira Hawkins.
The courthouse is not an early in-person location due to the building still being limited to the public. Well, today, Secretary of State Mac Warner released his weekly update on statewide voter participation in the 2020 primary election. The weekly updates include absentee and early voting data, including the number of absentee ballots requested and returned to county clerks. As of 2 a.m. today, 20.3% of registered voters statewide requested absentee ballots. 11.1% of statewide absentee voters have casted their vote, and over 1 million West Virginians have registered to vote. In-person early voting again will begin tomorrow, May 27th, and end June 6th. Well, still to come on Newswatch at 5, find out the new location the Mercer County Sheriff's Office is moving into. Plus, how some schools in Mercer County will still hold social distance graduation ceremonies.
And your Drive at 5 forecast features temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, but we do have some clouds moving in. I'll let you know if any rain will be with them coming up.
Hi, I'm Tony Martin. I don't normally wear fancy suits, but now I'm running for mayor. Everybody says I need better clothes. They want me to look more mayoral. Fact is, I'm not a professional politician. I'm an accountant. I've spent the last 24 years doing taxes and helping create jobs in Beckley. For me, economic development isn't a campaign slogan. It's what I do. And right now, it's time to find more creative ways of getting the job done.
At New River Community and Technical College, we're here for you. The COVID-19 pandemic may have changed how we operate, but our mission hasn't changed. If you're looking for a new career, we can help you. You'll get hands-on experience so you can climb higher, make sparks, tune it up, improve the process, get it running, work it out, or get creative. Connect with opportunity at the college in your community. New River Community and Technical College. Apply online today.
I think the best way to describe Ben Salango is he's a dynamo. He just works so hard.
Ben Salango built the Shawnee Sports Complex on time and on budget, and he provided a lot of jobs to our guys to get it done.
Ben Salango has made sure that we have what we need to do our jobs and save lives.
When Ben Salango pushed through the 12 weeks of family leave for our employees in Kanawha County, it made a huge difference.
I've been able to get things done. I've done it as Kanawha County Commissioner. I've done it my entire life. I'm going to do it as governor.
Division II Supreme Court. Chris Raines, the tough-as-nails prosecutor. 20 years experience, aggressively locking up child predators. So effective, she teaches law enforcement how to do it. Division I, Chief Justice Tim Armstead's upheld the convictions of the worst types of violent offenders. For anyone who commits a crime against a child, Armstead and Raines will make sure justice is served. Paid for by Republican State Leadership Committee, Judicial Fairness Initiative, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Come home to WOAY.
Well, a good Tuesday evening. We've had another warm day out there across southern West Virginia, but you've also noticed an increase in the cloud cover. Pretty thick out there across much of the viewing area. This is all associated with some moisture moving in from the south. You can also see there is some rain just down to the south as well. Most of the rain is going to stay down there for maybe about another 24 hours, but we're also going to start to see some more rain enter our forecast tomorrow night into Thursday. Temperatures outside right now, 75 as you go up into Fayetteville as well as Oak Hill, 73 in Beckley, 72 in Pipestem, 68 in Princeton, 67 in Bluefield. As you head on off towards Lewisburg, temperatures right now at 73, 74 in Raynell. Temperatures tonight going to drop down into the low 60s. Futurecast showing we're going to stay dry overnight tonight, but you'll notice the increase in the cloud cover. So partly to mostly cloudy skies. Futurecast trying to show an isolated shower across parts of Greenbrier and Monroe counties, but I think most of us are going to stay dry. And then notice tomorrow we're dry through the day. So we're already now, as we go into the early afternoon, early evening, 6:30 p.m. we're starting to see some clouds really thicken up. But notice what happens as we go shortly around midnight. A real increase in some rain right now. This is actually from a tropical wave of low pressure that's kind of near Florida that's moving up the coast, and it's going to be moving pretty quickly. But notice the oranges and even some red colors that were showing up on Futurecast. That's going to be an indication of some heavy rain, and these are going to be tropical rain bands that kind of move in. This is not a named tropical storm, but nonetheless, it's going to bring some tropical moisture to the forecast, and we're going to have to watch for some flooding potential. So here comes that system. Notice it's down across parts of the Gulf, just on the other, or I should say the Atlantic, just on the other side of Florida. And notice it's going to be bringing in a lot of moisture off the Atlantic, moves inland as we go into South Carolina, North Carolina, as we go into tomorrow evening, and it races off to the north pretty quickly. Now, there's been some indications on exactly where this will track. Some models today had a little bit more to the east. Afternoon runs had a little bit more to the west. So there's going to be a possibility that the heaviest rainfall totals, which we'll show you, could get moved just a little bit. But rain chances are low this evening, and they'll start to spike as we go into tomorrow night and then dip back down as we go into early Thursday. So rainfall amounts, of course, will be all dependent on the exact track of the system. If it tracks a little bit farther to the west, then the heaviest rain will stay to the west. More to the east, heavier rain moves to the east. So right now, you can see a lot of the moisture showing across parts of parts of Wyoming, McDowell, Mercer, Tazewell, and maybe even to Raleigh and southern Fayette. That's something we're going to have to track. Right now, your 7-day forecast showing 74 tomorrow, 79 on Thursday, showers and storms, 78 on Friday. Showers and storms continue, and then some rain on Saturday with highs right near 70. We're dry Sunday, Monday, Tuesday with temperatures cooling down to the upper 60s.
The Mercer County Commission has begun accruing funding to relocate the sheriff's office out of the courthouse. The move is being made to give the sheriff's department more room for holding cells and will allow the courthouse to use their space more efficiently. County Commissioner Greg Puckett says the move will solve a lot of issues with the courthouse. And still to come on Newswatch at 5, let's see what gardening tips Melinda has in store for us this week on Melinda's Garden.
WOAY TV and the Beckley-Raleigh County Chamber of Commerce invite you to meet the mayoral candidates for the city of Beckley. Tune in to WOAY on Tuesday, May 26th from 7 to 8 p.m. The candidates will answer a series of questions on topics that will help you, the voter, make a more informed decision. Join us Tuesday, May 26th from 7 to 8 p.m. and meet the candidates that want to be your mayor. Presented by Beckley ARH. Only on WOAY TV.
Out-of-state corporations will say anything to rig the West Virginia Supreme Court. They're attacking former Supreme Court Justice Richard Neeley by taking out-of-context comments he made over 25 years ago. Richard Neeley wrote some of the earliest pro-women opinions that allowed mothers to receive adequate child support. That's why he's been endorsed by organizations like the West Virginia Education Association and the AFL-CIO. It's time we get someone who's for us back on the court. Paid for by Reset West Virginia PAC. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Bill Wooten protected our environment. He authored the bill to stop out-of-state garbage dumping in West Virginia, saving our drinking water. Bill Wooten is a retired colonel, former prosecutor, but more important, for 26 years as a state legislator, nobody ever questioned Bill's integrity. Bill Wooten protected our land and water. On our Supreme Court, Bill Wooten will protect West Virginia.
I'm Bill Wooten. I pray that you and your family are safe, and I ask for your vote.
No two law firms are exactly alike.
We are Farmer, Klein, and Campbell.
The respect we command comes from our service to this community.
The passion that we bring to our work for you is what sets us apart.
We're your neighbors, your friends.
Your familiar shield against bad insurance companies.
We're over 50 strong and all about you.
There's no substitute for Farmer, Klein, and Campbell.
We're all about helping you.
Farmer, Klein, and Campbell is the way to go. Call 252-5990.
Jim Justice said he would never release violent criminals early from jail, but he did. In March, Justice approved early releases for dozens of convicted felons, a violent thief, a child pornographer, and child predators. Violent criminals, all granted early release by the governor for no good reason. Remember what Jim Justice asked of voters?
Judge me by my deeds. Judge me by what I've done.
West Virginia can do better on Election Day. Vote for Woody Thrasher.
Melinda's Garden Moment is brought to you by Casto's Greenhouses.
Save space and add some color to the landscape with a bed of strawberries. We added to the ornamental appeal by growing our strawberries in this star-shaped bed. Consider using the matted row planting and training system when growing everbearing and day-neutral strawberries or when gardening in small spaces. Plant the strawberries 12 inches apart in the bed. Remove any flowers and fruit. This allows the plants to use energy to develop a healthy root system instead of fruit. Make sure the crown of the plant, this is the growing point just above the roots, is above the soil surface. Planting strawberries too deep can result in rot and death of the plants. Once the garden is planted, mulch with straw or other material to help conserve water and suppress weeds. Water thoroughly and often enough to keep the top few inches of soil slightly moist. I'm Melinda Myers. Check out our website for this and other gardening tips.
Well, Mercer County high schools have been giving the chance to hold traditional but socially distanced graduation ceremonies. Newswatch reporter Jacob Comer met with some school staff to find out how they're staying safe about it.
Unlike many other schools in southern West Virginia, Mercer County schools are holding graduation ceremonies this week for their students. Bluefield, Montcalm, Pikeview, and Princeton Senior High School are all holding small-scale graduation ceremonies with only a few students at a time, spread out over the course of 3 whole days. According to Bluefield High School's principal, the schools are doing everything they can to keep the ceremonies safe.
We're using social distancing. We have, them spread out in the parking lot, and we have them spread out here as they line up. And, of course, the auditorium is marked, 6 to 8 feet apart.
Each ceremony has only between 8 and 10 students, and each student is allowed a small number of guests to watch them walk across the stage. According to Princeton Senior High School's assistant principal, each row of chairs for spectators are separated by family, and students stay socially distant while lining up. And after each ceremony, a new group of students roll in, and the faculty does it all over again.
We've been spreading out the graduations roughly about every 30 minutes. Between each group coming in, we've been making sure that we're sanitizing everything.
An average class size of 150 means it would take nearly 8 hours a day for 3 whole days to get everyone across the stage. The faculty says all the hard work is for the community to let them see the kids graduate in an in-person setting rather than a virtual one.
To do graduation like this, to give the parents an opportunity to see their child walk across the stage in person.
Another reason Mercer County schools wanted to let their kids graduate in this way was to give them one last chance to be together before moving off to live their lives.
Whether it's our military students, and our students that are maybe starting college early or going on to play sports, at least they can all get together in small groups and using social distancing, but at least they can all get together and be recognized at this point.
Commencement ceremonies across the state have been canceled, so it was likely a pleasant surprise for parents to realize they'd get the chance to see their kids graduate. Mercer County Schools taking the pandemic seriously and planning out these safe ceremonies certainly shows that they care for their community. This has been Jacob Comer reporting for WOAY Newswatch.
Some high schools are also considering commencement ceremonies for later in the summer as well. Well, still to come on Newswatch at 5, as more states reopen and the death toll rises, more challenges for people staying safe.
As a lifelong resident of Fayette County and the daughter of former teacher Connie Holly and the late coach Cy Holly, Michelle has deep roots within our communities. Michelle Holly will be a fresh new face in the office of Fayette County Clerk. Maintaining records and ensuring the integrity of our election processes are important duties of our county clerk. Michelle Holly is the right choice for county clerk in Fayette County.
Paid for by Committee to Elect C. Holly, Treasurer.
Are you looking for the perfect plants to landscape your yard? Go to Casto's Greenhouses in Oak Hill, where you can find amazing hanging baskets in various sizes and a hearty selection of vegetables sure to please any gardener. We have restocked our flower selection to meet our customers' high demand. Let our friendly, knowledgeable staff help you complete all your planting needs. Casto's Greenhouses in Oak Hill, 1 mile off Route 19 on Summerlee Road. It's worth the drive.
Now more than ever, we need justice to be blind, to be balanced, and not just for the powerful, but fair for everyone.
I'm Joanna Tabit. I'm a judge, not a politician. I'll use my 32 years of courtroom experience and years on the bench to balance the scales of justice for everyday people.
Tough, experienced, independent. That's why law enforcement, first responders, business, and labor support Judge Joanna Tabit for the Supreme Court.
I'm Kayla Kessinger. I'm a conservative running to represent you in our House of Delegates. My grandfather is a Vietnam veteran, and my family owns a small business in southern West Virginia. I am a part of the working middle class. Pro-life and gun rights groups support me. If you vote for me, Kayla Kessinger, I'll defend our values. I'll work to create more jobs and grow our economy for you and your family. Let's write our state's comeback story together and vote for a conservative like me. I'm Kayla Kessinger. I ask for your vote, and I approve this message.
Welcome back. Well, President Trump is continuing his push for states to reopen, and this afternoon, more signs of parts of American life returning to normal as the country creeps closer to a grim milestone. ABC's Alex Prochet has more from Washington.
More signs of America reopening. New Jersey's governor giving the green light for high schools to hold outdoor graduations starting July 6th.
The steps we are taking are necessary to ensure the health and safety of everyone in attendance, but we are equally as confident that no one will ever forget the way we will celebrate the class of 2020.
In New York, Governor Cuomo ringing the bell of the New York Stock Exchange. The trading floor reopening for the first time since late March, but at only around 25% capacity, part of a promising trend for the state.
Number of new COVID cases down to the lowest level since this ever started.
President Trump continuing his push to reopen America, tweeting for states to open up ASAP, though his own federal guidelines say it should happen gradually. All of this follows a weekend of huge holiday crowds. And while many cities reported beachgoers following guidelines, there were also images like this packed pool at Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri, people not wearing masks or social distancing. As the country's coronavirus death toll is approaching 100,000, at least 14 states and Puerto Rico are still reporting increases in new COVID cases. And now, new data on the counties hit hardest, FEMA listing the top 10 it calls high burden or growing. 2 are near Montgomery, Alabama.
We've had over a 240% increase. It's too soon. I think the data shows that, and I think that's why we're in this position that we're in right now. We have to make sure that we are being guided by the data and not the dollars.
4 of the counties on that FEMA list had outbreaks at meatpacking plants. Another had an outbreak at a federal prison. Alex Prochet, ABC News, Washington.
Out-of-state insurance companies are lying about our former Chief Justice of the West Virginia Supreme Court, Richard Neeley. Richard Neeley is running to eliminate the huge delays that help insurance companies all but destroy the rights of women, children, and workers. Richard was awarded a Bronze Star as an Army artillery captain in Vietnam. He served on the court with national distinction. That's why women's groups across the state endorse him. Vote for our families. Richard Neeley for Supreme Court.
We're helping folks get what they need to stay safe.
To stay safe.
To stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe and afloat.
Food, medicine, unemployment benefits, and more. We turned our statewide campaign volunteer team into a COVID response team. One governor's not enough. We need all of us. We need you. Because West Virginia can't wait.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
West Virginia can't wait.
Paid for by Smith for West Virginia.
You're ready to drive again, and not just to the neighborhood store. In a new Honda, you can enjoy the open road with powerful performance. And your money can go farther too, because Honda holds its value better than any other auto brand. Your Honda dealer is offering flexibility, like shopping online, so you can purchase with confidence. Get your new Honda today. KBB.com's 2020 Best Value Brand.
Hi, I'm Tony Martin. I don't normally wear fancy suits, but now I'm running for mayor. Everybody says I need better clothes. They want me to look more mayoral. Fact is, I'm not a professional politician. I'm an accountant. I've spent the last 24 years doing taxes and helping create jobs in Beckley. For me, economic development isn't a campaign slogan. It's what I do. And right now, it's time to find more creative ways of getting the job done.
Temperatures tomorrow, they're in the low to mid 70s, 30% chance of some showers late. Showers and storms continue into Thursday and Friday, but a cool down and dry weather will return as we go into the latter part of the weekend and early next week.
Well, that'll wrap it up for News Watch at 5. As a reminder, tonight at 7, WAY will be airing the Meet the Mayoral candidates.
At R&R Comfort Systems, we do things right. That's what our customers say.
They're just like family coming in. They don't come in with high attitudes, and they don't try to charge you an arm and leg.
There was no hidden fees. There was